Over 70 billion sausages are consumed worldwide every year. They are cheap, delicious, and have become one of the most popular foods on the planet. But how are they really made? Is it true that they contain ingredients and additives you would never imagine? Well, today we'll travel to Germany, home to the largest sausage factory on the planet, where more than 5 million units are processed and produced every day, ready to be devoured in millions of meals and hot dogs. So, get ready, because today you will discover how sausages are mass-produced. Let's begin. Step 1. Arrival and meat selection. It all starts long before a sausage reaches your plate. Every day, gigantic refrigerated trucks unload tons of fresh meat at the plant. Pork, beef, and chicken, depending on the type of sausage to be produced. Once inside, huge cranes and automated systems help workers move the large blocks of meat, which at first glance look like compact and unappetizing pieces. And here's a key question. Is it true that sausages are made from poor quality meat and leftover scraps? The answer is no. What's used are trimmings from premium meat, along with fat, and in some cases, tendons or cartilage. Yes, these are less appetizing parts than a sirloin or a T-bone steak, but they all undergo the same sanitary controls as any other cut. Every batch that enters the plant is instantly analyzed by expert operators and automatic sensors that verify freshness, color, temperature, and absence of contaminants. Nothing that doesn't meet the standards can enter the production line, because an error here could be fatal for food safety. After this initial check, the approved meat is classified into different categories: the lean cuts that will provide the protein base, the fat that will give juiciness, and the tendons and cartilage that will be ground until they become imperceptible in the final product. The objective is clear: to achieve the perfect mix of protein and fat to ensure the sausage is juicy and has the characteristic flavor we all recognize. Once everything is verified and classified, huge conveyor belts direct the tons of meat toward the next step of its transformation. Step 2. Grinding and initial mixing. The tons of meat are transferred to gigantic industrial grinders, equipped with stainless steel blades that spin at very high speeds, grinding everything into a dense, uniform paste. The power of these machines is enormous. They can process more than 3,000 kilos of meat per hour, reducing mountains of pieces in a matter of minutes. And here's a key detail. Not everything is ground the same way. Each type of meat goes through a different level of grinding to achieve the perfect texture. A grind that's too coarse would make the sausage tough, while excessive grinding would make it pasty and inedible. Once ground, the mixture goes to gigantic kneading machines where it is combined with salt, ice, and an initial dose of spices like pepper, nutmeg, or garlic powder, depending on the recipe. Although it sounds strange, the ice serves a vital function: to keep the temperature always below 4 degrees Celsius, preventing the meat from spoiling, preserving its properties, and slowing down the growth of bacteria. The result is a meat mass that may look unappetizing at first sight, but is actually the basis for millions of juicy, flavorful sausages that will soon take shape. Step 3. Seasoning and emulsification. With the meat paste ready, it's time to give it the unmistakable flavor of a true sausage. Although an initial basic dose of salt and spices was added in the previous step to stabilize the mixture, this is where the final recipe is truly defined. The tons of paste enter gigantic industrial mixers, while automated dosing systems add the exact formula with surgical precision: water, salt, pepper, garlic, paprika, and a combination of spices that changes according to the variety of sausage being made. But it's not just about seasonings. This is also where key additives come into play, such as nitrites, which provide the classic pink color and also protect against dangerous bacteria, stabilizers, which keep the meat and fat bonded, preventing them from separating, and finally, flavor enhancers, which make every bite identical to the last. After this comes the most delicate moment: emulsification, an intensive whipping where everything is fused at high speed until it becomes a creamy, uniform, and elastic paste. There is no margin for error here. If the emulsion fails, the fat separates, and what should be a juicy sausage turns into a dry, brittle product that is impossible to sell. Literally, it would be tons of meat and thousands of dollars lost in seconds. But if all goes well, the result is a dense, aromatic paste, ready to enter the most impressive step of the entire process. Step 4. Stuffing and forming. It's time to give this paste shape. The meat mass is pumped through huge stainless steel pipes directly to high-speed stuffing machines. These machines work with astonishing precision. They inject the paste into casings that can be natural, from pig intestines, although in mass commercial production, the most common are artificial casings made from edible collagen or cellulose, which ensure speed, hygiene, and an identical size for all pieces. The pace is tremendous. A single machine can produce more than 30,000 sausages per hour. Once filled, the stuffing machines twist and seal the casings into exact sections, forming the classic endless chain of sausages that will then be cut for packaging. Everything here is controlled down to the millimeter by automatic sensors. An excess of pressure can cause the casings to burst, while an insufficient load would result in flimsy sausages that are impossible to sell. What was just an amorphous paste a few minutes ago has now become perfect rows of newly formed sausages, ready for their next major transformation. Step 5. Cooking and smoking. The thousands of sausages automatically advance into gigantic industrial ovens, capable of holding thousands of pieces at the same time. Inside, a perfectly regulated mix of steam and heat raises the internal temperature of each unit to over 70 degrees Celsius, enough to cook them to perfection and ensure they are completely safe for consumption. But that's not all. After leaving the oven, the large rows enter enormous smoking chambers, where a dense, aromatic smoke is released, impregnating each sausage, giving it that unmistakable flavor we all recognize, and at the same time serving as a natural preservative. At the end of this phase, what was once a pale and soft chain becomes firm, juicy sausages with the classic golden or pink color we see when we open any package in the supermarket. Step 6. Rapid cooling and sanitary control. Fresh out of the oven and smoking chambers, the sausages are still hot, fragile, and very vulnerable to the action of bacteria. If they aren't acted on quickly at this point, they would spoil rapidly. Therefore, the thousands of sausages move toward rapid cooling tunnels, gigantic systems where currents of icy air and cold water showers reduce their internal temperature from over 70 degrees to just 5, all in less than 30 minutes, ensuring that each sausage retains its juiciness and, above all, is safe for the consumer. After this extreme temperature drop, the most critical phase arrives: sanitary control. Specialized inspectors and automated equipment check batch by batch, verifying that there are no breaks in the casings, texture deformities, or strange changes in color. At the same time, random samples are taken and sent to laboratories, where high-precision microbiological analyses detect even the slightest trace of dangerous bacteria. Imagine for a moment that a batch contaminated with salmonella reached the market. We're talking about mass food poisoning, urgent product recalls, and millions in losses capable of bankrupting an entire factory. That's why there are no second chances here. Only the sausages that pass absolutely all tests move on to the final stage. The rest are immediately removed and destroyed, without hesitation. Step 7. Packaging and global distribution. Having passed all quality tests, the sausages are ready for their last big step before reaching your plate. First, the endless rows pass through automated cutting lines, where high-speed blades separate them with millimeter precision. Then, huge packaging machines group the pieces into different presentations, from small packs for families to large formats for restaurants and fast food chains. Each package is vacuum sealed or sealed in a controlled atmosphere, a system that replaces normal air with protective gases that extend its shelf life and keep its flavor and freshness intact without the need to add extra preservatives. Once packaged, the sausages travel on conveyor belts to giant refrigerated chambers, where they are stored at controlled temperatures. From there, refrigerated trucks, ships, and even cargo planes distribute them to thousands of supermarkets and stores all over the planet. To give you an idea, each plant can produce more than 5 million sausages a day. That means that while you watch this video, literally millions of new sausages are being cooked, packaged, and distributed to reach your table. And so, what began as simple blocks of meat ends up as one of the most consumed and popular foods in the world. To conclude, tell us, did you imagine this entire process? Will you still enjoy them the same after knowing how they are made? Leave us your answer in the comments. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to not miss the next factory tour.